These 5 teams could change the World Cup forever.
And Memphis has scored.
A new champion could be coming. Every World Cup starts with the same conversation. People talk about Brazil, Argentina, France, Germany, Spain, and England, because these are the giants, the countries that always carry the biggest expectations.
Ronaldo. Oh, genius!
But 2026 feels different. This World Cup might not just be about the old kings of football. It might be about the teams standing just outside the circle, waiting for one perfect tournament to change their entire history. And this time, there are 5 teams who have never won the World Cup, but they are arriving with something dangerous: momentum, emotion, hunger. Ivory Coast, Portugal, Netherlands, Morocco and Colombia. 5 teams, 0 World Cups. But in 2026, one of them could change everything. 1. Ivory Coast. The viral warning. Ivory Coast have suddenly become one of the most interesting teams to watch because they are no longer just an African underdog. They are becoming a real warning sign for the big nations. The reason everyone is talking about them is simple. When a team like Ivory Coast beats a team like France, people start paying attention. France are one of the strongest football nations in the world, full of elite players, world-class depth, and tournament experience. But Ivory Coast showed something that matters more than reputation. Belief. They showed power, pace, aggression, and the kind of fearless energy that can destroy a team in a knockout match. This is why they are dangerous. They do not need to control every game. They do not need 70% possession. They just need one mistake, one counterattack, one moment of chaos, and suddenly the whole match changes. What makes Ivory Coast exciting is that they play with a type of energy that bigger teams sometimes hate facing. They are physical, fast, and direct. They do not come into matches looking scared. They come in like a team that wants to prove something, and in the World Cup, that mentality can become a weapon. Because tournament football is not always won by the prettiest team. Sometimes it is won by the team that survives pressure, fights for every ball, and turns one chance into a historic moment. Ivory Coast might not be the favorite, but that is exactly why they are scary. Nobody expects them to win the World Cup. But if they catch the right team on the wrong night, they can completely change the tournament. 2. Portugal. Ronaldo's last chance. Portugal are different from the others because this might be Cristiano Ronaldo's final chance to win the only trophy missing from his international story. Portugal have already won the Euros. They have already produced legendary players, and they have one of the most talented squads in the world. But they have never won the World Cup. And that is what makes 2026 feel so emotional. This is not just another tournament for Portugal. This feels like the final chapter of a story that started more than 2 decades ago. Ronaldo has done almost everything in football, but the World Cup is still the trophy that has escaped him. And if this really is his last World Cup, then every match will feel heavier, every goal will feel bigger, and every missed chance will feel painful. But here is what makes Portugal truly dangerous. They are not just Ronaldo anymore. That is the biggest difference. This squad has Bruno Fernandes, Bernardo Silva, Rafael Leao, João Felix, Vitinha, Ruben Dias, Nuno Mendes, and so much technical quality everywhere on the pitch. Portugal can beat teams with control, with creativity, with speed, or with individual moments. The real question is not whether Portugal have talent. The real question is whether they can finally find balance. If Ronaldo becomes the emotional leader instead of the tactical problem, and if the younger generation carries the football, Portugal could be terrifying. This is a team with enough quality to beat anyone. But if they fail again, people will not just call it unlucky, they will call it another wasted golden generation. Number 3. Netherlands, the cursed giants. The Netherlands are one of the most powerful stories in World Cup history because they are the greatest football nation that has still never lifted the trophy. This is a country that gave football some of its most beautiful ideas. Total football, Johan Cruyff, Van Basten.
The Dutch have produced legends, iconic teams and unforgettable moments, but somehow the World Cup has always slipped away. They reached finals. They came close. They made people fall in love with their football, but the ending was always the same: heartbreak. That is why the Netherlands do not just play against opponents at the World Cup. They play against history.
In 2026, the Netherlands have another chance to finally break that curse. They have leadership in Virgil van Dijk, control in Frenkie de Jong, attacking threat in Cody Gakpo, creativity from Xavi Simons, and a squad that can be very difficult to beat when everything clicks. The Dutch do not need to be the loudest team in the tournament. They just need to be solid, patient, and ruthless in the right moments. Because tournament football is not always about playing the best football every match. It is about surviving the bad days and punishing opponents when the chance comes. The Netherlands have been beautiful before. They have been admired before. But now the question is different. Can they finally stop being the team that almost won and become the team that actually wins? 4. Morocco, the team nobody wants. Morocco are dangerous because they are no longer a surprise story. They are now a team the world has to take seriously. In 2022, Morocco changed the way people looked at African football at the World Cup. They beat giants, they defended with discipline, they played with emotion, and they became the first African nation to reach a World Cup semi-final. That run was not just about tactics, it was about identity. Every tackle felt personal. Every counterattack felt like a nation running forward. Every win felt bigger than football. Morocco did not just play for themselves, they played for Africa, for the Arab world, and for every fan who wanted to see a new name challenge the old powers. But 2026 is a different test. This time, Morocco will not be underestimated. Teams will prepare for them. Opponents will respect them. The surprise factor will be gone. And that is what makes their story even more interesting. Can Morocco do it again when everyone is watching? Can they handle the pressure of expectation? Can they turn one magical tournament into a real football era? With players like Achraf Hakimi, Sofiane Amrabat, and other experienced names, Morocco have the structure and mentality to hurt big teams again. They are compact, emotional, aggressive, and extremely difficult to break. And in the knockout rounds, nobody wants to face a team like that. Because Morocco already know what it feels like to shock the world. And once a team learns that, it never forgets.
5. Colombia. The dark horse, Colombia might be the most dangerous team in this list because they can arrive quietly and suddenly become the team nobody wants to face. They are not always placed in the same conversation as Brazil, Argentina, or France, but that is exactly what makes them interesting. Colombia have always had flair, rhythm, emotion, and chaos in their football. They play with a type of energy that can make any match uncomfortable. They are not robotic, they are not predictable. They can turn a game into a fight, a festival, or a storm. And when you have players like Luis Diaz, you always have someone who can change a match with one run, one dribble, or one moment of bravery. The key with Colombia is momentum. If they start the tournament well, they can become emotionally unstoppable. South American teams bring a different edge to the World Cup. They bring fight, intensity, and street football confidence. Colombia do not need to dominate every team to become dangerous. They just need to stay alive. If they reach the knockout rounds with confidence, they become a nightmare because they can play without fear. That is what makes a dark horse so powerful. Nobody truly expects them to win, so they carry less pressure than the giants. But if they build belief round by round, suddenly the whole tournament starts looking at them differently. Colombia may not be the obvious champion, but sometimes the World Cup does not reward the obvious team. Sometimes it rewards the team that catches fire at the perfect time. 5 teams, 1 chance. So when people ask who can win the 2026 World Cup, most fans will still name the usual giants: France, Brazil, Argentina, Spain, Germany, and England. And maybe they are right. Maybe one of the old kings will win again. But football does not always follow the script. Sometimes the World Cup creates a story that nobody saw coming. Maybe Ivory Coast turn their viral momentum into a real revolution. Maybe Portugal give Cristiano Ronaldo the ending football has been waiting for. Maybe the Netherlands finally break the curse that has followed them for generations. Maybe Morocco finish the story they started in 2022. Maybe Colombia become the dark horse that grows louder with every round. That is why 2026 feels special, because this tournament does not just have favourites, teams that have never won the World Cup but have enough talent, emotion and hunger to make the world uncomfortable. But one tournament can change everything. It will be remembered as the year football found a new champion.